Okay, team, we're going to do a bit of mobilizing for the bench press. This is a very simple one. If you remember, the order to warming up is always mobilize and then stabilize. The bench doesn't need much mobility. So we're going to show you one exercise for mobilizing and then get straight into the stabilizing with the band. Your thoracic spine, which is sort of from here to here, is inherently very rigid because it protects the organs and it has the ribs attached to them. That can limit how much we can extend the spine and therefore produce power on the bench. Take a roller and pop it around where your ribs start. Fall back on it, and then what you're trying to do is roll this part of your upper back. Pull your shoulders forward and hug yourself to expose the spine, and then roll forward and backwards. This might crack your back a few times, and that's a good thing. Once you've done all of that, you're going to put your hands together like this and on the back of your head, pin the elbows together, and then try and force yourself over the roller. I'm keeping my bum down, and I'm trying to get my elbows to touch the floor. They're not going to, but keep trying, and do that at a few different vertebrae in that upper mid back. That's going to waken everything up and open up the chest, ready for the bench. You don't need to do much of it. After that, we want to get on to stabilizing. The muscles around the back of the shoulder, the rotator cuffs, stabilize us when we bench press, and they're usually not very switched on. So you want to grab a band. You can either use a big band like this, or you can take a small band and put it around your wrists. And what we're going to do is a bench press with that tension. So if you hold it about a foot apart, find your bench press technique with your shoulders down towards your hips, then you're going to pull the band out to where your hands would be on the bar. That is obviously requiring I switch on my muscles around the back to pull it apart. And then we're going to descend with that tension, and it'll teach us where to place the tension and how to keep the tension as we're doing the bench press. So again, foot apart, find your bench position, tension to where your hands would be, and then as you're coming down, it's a chance to practice that bar path down to the sternum at the bottom, and then over the shoulder at the top. I'm taking a big deep breath in, pushing my chest out. I'm landing in this nice bottom position with my elbows underneath my hands, perfectly just the same as how a bench would be. And then this tension on my rear delts is just helping me teach that little bit of stability. If you do 2 sets of 10 reps with a reasonably heavy band, as you're warming up for the bench, you'll have a much better idea of how to create tension and use it to slingshot yourself out of the bottom.